Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play Blades of Avernum. Last episode we began a new scenario, Mad Ambition. Our mission was to find our way to the Fort Ivalice, find out its status, and get reinforcements if they needed them. However, they are so understaffed that we decided to stay and try to help at least a little bit. The reinforcements we were coming with almost all died, so all that's left are the 12 soldiers who were already here, and us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, I think what we're going to do is speak with everyone here, see if they have any information for us. This woman is not armed nearly as well as the other people here. Her blade is long and accurate, but not particularly large. She also wears no armor. She looks up at you and smiles cordially. Her eyes belie her armaments. She has a confidence that too few warriors have nowadays. Hello, friends. My name is Ivy, a bladeswoman serving under Dervish Malachi. It is a pleasure to meet all of you, especially considering how much combat you've already seen. How's it going, Ivy? She shrugs. I've my blade and talented soldiers all around me. Regardless of the situation, I'm a fighter for the Empire. This is all that I need. But well, these soldiers, they're all so sad. Disturbed, some of them. It's like this fort has brought the worst out of all of us. Becomes hellish at times. I want to help them, but if I take on too much responsibility, I'll never be able to wean them off. I know how you feel. This fort is depressing. The Empire never cared much about Ivalice. Not that they would have had to under the normal circumstances either. She caught herself. That was almost treasonous. But this situation can only mean one thing, and that's the deaths of everyone here. I want these people to have at least some solace before they all die. Is that too much to ask? We can only do so much. She shakes her head and sighs. I know this, but I feel for them. My parents, they were violent and they harmed Theo and I. I'm fine with it now, I am. Running away from them, though, it was difficult. And dealing with the humiliation, it hurt a lot. Theo wasn't there to comfort me. Listen, I know what it means to be alone in this world, and from the looks of it I'm guessing you do too. You don't have to tell me about it, but it's as clear as day. I don't want others to experience that sort of pain. Never. This man is sitting at the fire with his sword gripped tightly. He eyes you somewhat casually, regarding you as no more than a mildly interesting nuisance. You can call me Lloyd if you must. Lloyd, why are you here? He looks up at you. I like carnage. I enjoy it. Cannot get enough of it. The tingling feel of a life in my hands arouses me in a way that no woman or object can. It is electrifying. Lloyd's inflection is a flat, monotone diatribe, and it is very forced. On the other hand, this seems to be more of his disdain for speaking rather than insincerity. That's terrible. He smiles smugly. Oh, I know. I thought so too. But back then, a previous officer readied us all to kill and be killed without thought or mercy. That era, for me, was a blinding, hallucinogenic orgy of gore and carnage. His face becomes slightly flustered as he licks his lips. Oh, I can taste the rewards of battle now. But Dervish Malachi has forbidden me from saying such things. And so it goes. Now leave me be whilst I reminisce. What a perturbed man. This man is well armed in general, well kept and tidy. He would probably be a very anal person were he awake. Alas, speaking to him will not happen unless you wake him, which would be very rude. Sleep is, by the looks of things, a rarity here. Depriving him of any would be cruel. This woman is sitting at the fire with a hand at her sword, ignoring you for the most part. She has a long scar running down her left cheek and dented armor. Its spikes aren't necessarily dangerous, but they are rather imposing, as is the fact that her entire getup is a deep blood red. You call me Acacia if you need to. Hey, Acacia. Hey, yourself. I don't have the time to deal with you. She seems angry to be certain. Her visage expressed that clearly enough. Still, she's not angry with you. What's wrong? You want to know what's wrong. You presume to ask me what's wrong. You're really intrusive, do you know that? She pauses and looks at you over carefully. It's this place. I'm pissed at the Neffs. I'm pissed at my sister. But most of all, I'm pissed at myself. This whole place is a cesspit. I assume you've never seen a relative die in front of you in a violent way. Sis. She used to be a nice gal. The kind I never thought I could be. Mom and Dad, they were so kind while she was in sight. They'd make flower arrangements and knit and make supper. They spoiled her, but she was still the nicest person ever. Unfortunately, she had skill with a bow, so when the Empire came looking for recruits, they nabbed her and made her a fearsome sniper. She hasn't been the same since. It pains me to see her like that. That's all. She doesn't want to speak anymore. You decide not to force it. This Archer seems like he would be very sociable in another setting, although that's very reasonable given the setting. Unfortunately, this Archer is also sleeping right now, so you leave him alone. Rest must be scarce here, and you would hate to rob him of his only genuine reprieve for the next few days, if not the rest of his life. This man is sitting absent-mindedly, keeping his bow taut and his strings waxed. His face has hollow cheeks and a fairly sharp nose, making him appear much more lithe and svelte than you would expect a soldier to be. He looks up at you absent-mindedly. Yo, I'm Hunter. Nice meeting you. So what are you up to? Not much. I'm just staying here like I was ordered to. You know, people around here, a lot of them have problems. You ever wondered why? People have problems. Well, that's normal. No, that's not just normal. It has to be that way. It's way too easy to say that life sucks and leave it be, but that's not how it goes. Life sucks, but we can do something about it. And I think that's what matters. See, it's not an easy concept to grasp while one is suffering, but the root of all suffering is ignorance. Brace life for what it is, and you can live much richer. At least that's my opinion. Your philosophy, I take it. He smiles. I'm glad to hear it. It's good to be able to get at least one more person before we all meet our maker. What a beast. This man's physique is intimidating, if not lithe or toned. He is, all in all, a muscle-bound vessel to be certain. The man, although you cannot be certain, appears to be poorly educated. He's asleep and also snoring fairly loudly. You leave him be out of politesse. Alright. Let's take a look at the other people at the remaining 4 people before we go into the buildings. This woman is draped in tattered cloths. Her expression is bereft of emotion, and she grips a short sword that only barely pokes out from the mass of light fabric she's hiding under. She regards you out of the corner of her eye. She doesn't want to talk to you much. I'm Isabelle Archer. How are you doing, Isabelle? She turns her entire head towards you. Without the rags, she could be a smiling beauty. Ethical dilemma. I'm not sure how I should deal with it. She genuinely sounds torn, at least by comparison to the way she greeted you. Still, she remains oddly elusive as a conversationalist. What's your problem? There's a woman here. She's a beautiful person to me, and yet I cannot concentrate knowing that she is here. I doubt my ability to kill. I doubt my ability to follow orders. With her around, I think. Past, peace, contentedness. These things are not a soldier's domain. I must purge these thoughts somehow. I must not falter. I mustn't. What should I do? If you love her, then say so. She frowns. Love is a strong word. I care for her, yes, but I cannot justify putting her above my orders. I cannot justify defying the last order given to me by General Footracer. His last order before his forced retirement was that we all become the perfect killing machines for the Empire. If something inferior gets in the way of my performance, it must be eliminated. General Footracer was supposedly executed for war crimes at the behest of the military court 8 years ago. Interesting. When the time comes, I will shoot her. We spent happy days together, but now that we are both soldiers, the only reunion possible for us will be in hell. She turns back to her post and continues mumbling inaudibly to herself. Holy crap, that was dark! Anthony is still standing here attentively, both giving attention to you and looking out for intruders. Hello! How are things going? Well, they go, Anthony. Well, that's good to hear. You know what? What is it, Anthony? I'm afraid. I don't often say it, but sometimes I gotta let it off my chest, you know? Maybe the cold out here is giving me delirium. Maybe I'm going mad, but I just have to get this out in the open. I've got a little sister back home. She was barely 18. Now I imagine she's 19 or something, but hell with her age, she was cute. And a real innocent one. I want to be with her badly. And so I asked Malachi if I can go back home to see her, and he says no. Like we aren't doomed here anyway. It must be tough. It's tough. She might be married by now. Heck, she could be with child already. She's meant so much to me, and I can't see her for an instant. But I don't mind being here. Malachi was right. He needs me here. And he respects me for it. In fact, he respects all of us, as if we were the family we had to leave behind. He appreciates your coming here despite your loss too, I'm sure. Besides, how could I stare little Priscilla in the face if I ran away from my problems? Listen, I don't want to take up your time, but thanks for listening. It really means something to me. Listening is the least I can do. It's the least anyone can do. Listen to someone's issues, even if they can't provide much help. An ear to listen it can be worth a lot. This soldier looks bored. He stares out at the rather brief expanse between himself and the mountains to the north. He looks like a capable fighter to be sure, but that doesn't change the fact that he doesn't seem to care. As you approach, he barely recognizes you. You're the remaining members of the reinforcements, right? Don't waste your time talking to me. My name's Maxwell, and that's all you have to know. Why are you so angry at us? He stops. He didn't expect a response like that. You aren't like most people. Honestly, I expected you to snap. It's past my expectations, for what little that's worth. Say, what's your opinion of the dervish? Dervish Malachi. He's a good man. Yes, I agree completely. You're very compassionate to a person who just shouted at you like I did. I apologize, you didn't deserve it. You know of Duke Eubens? That's a rhetorical question, and Maxwell knows it. Duke Eubens is a powerful presence in Calzas and is the representative of the Marquis of Northwestern Valorum. Duke Eubens was attacked by a bizarre magical anomaly some months ago. I was one of his personal guards, a vassal, a servant, a friend, and a coward. I fled when things started to look pear-shaped. Thought my Duke would die. As fate would have it, the Duke survived, but I was severely beaten. He refused to speak to me afterwards. He hardly spoke to anyone. His words spoke of confidence, but inside he felt betrayed, and I knew it. I haven't spoken with him since. Can't forgive myself for it. Sorry. All I can do now is serve the dervish and hope for redemption. He turns his head away in shame. Okay, one more person to speak with, then we can look in the buildings. This woman is staring out at the frontier, watching for a Nephil attack. She seems fairly vigilant, but confident even more so. She looks like she could be mean in combat, especially for a woman. Unlike the men, though, she has taken great care of her armor, hair, and face. She wears lipstick and her armor is resplendent. Display is a bit much. Friends, my name is Janet, and I am a bladesman of the Empire. It is a pleasure to meet all of you. So how's it going? She smiles. Why, it's going just splendidly. Thanks for asking. That is not the response you expected. Miss Ford is going to fall any day now. She will be murdered, and she still finds the room to pretend nothing is wrong, keep her armor tidy, and wear makeup. Janet, why do you dress up like this? She shakes her head and looks at the ground bashfully. Oh, this? It's nothing. Just a good old bit of polish and some simple knickknacks. Janet notes your reaction and immediately realizes that you aren't buying such a hollow excuse. She raises her head up at you with her lips pressed together grimly and her eyes full and deep. You have cared for a woman before, certainly, haven't you? What are you getting at, ma'am? She shakes her head. No, I'm sorry. It's just that many of these men at this fort have people they care for at home. Beautiful people, women of fair demeanor and fairer appearance. I owe it to the dervish to keep the men inspired to fight, you see. It's a very important job. And they appreciate me for it. They do. They are noble men, very noble. And I must keep them so. Each and every one. They are good and noble people, but I too can hold a sword. I am a strong and proud individual. I am valuable. I just have to be this way. It's because they need me. And I will be there for them, each and every single one. Alright then. Quite a story for each and every one of these people. Well, let's look around. Oh, here's the old forge they mentioned. Not really anything in here. Large structure, too. You wouldn't expect they'd leave so much space for the forge. He said that this was the, administrative building. For an administrative building, there's not much in here. There's a lever here. Unfortunately, it has a locking device on it, and you were missing the appropriate key. Looks like a kitchen. Private quarters. Treasure sword. Fascinating. Can't go in that. $9.99! Impressive. Ah! This must be the place he's supposed to wait. Or the place they have meetings. It's 12 spots. Can't read the sign. Okay, in here, what do we got? Forget what he said was in here. Ah! 4 leather armor, 4 leather helmets, leather greaves. Actually, the leather greaves would probably be useful. Yes, the leather greaves would be better here. Better than pants. I'll take it. So hey, at least there was something useful in the armor. Ah, those are the mines. Oh. Requisite and possum. Here's their weaponry. Tribal spear, blessed short sword, scrap metal mail, iron greaves, edge sword, steel scimitar, shamshod plate mail, edge sword, steel axe, steel rapier. That's some interesting and impressive weaponry. Powerful stuff, too. That blessed short sword would be handy. Shamshod plate mail would definitely be good. I wish we could get some of these things identified. Sadly, we don't have a better spear. Let's see what these things are. Plus 30 damage to attacker for the scrap metal mail. Hold on, let's look at each of these things. The blessed short sword is pretty basic. Shamshod plate mail. Okay. Definitely gonna wear that. And use that sword. Alright, steel scimitar. Nothing special about it. You're gonna use that scrap metal mail, that's definitely worth it. Iron greaves. Sure, wear the iron greaves. You can wear the pants of power instead. Draco can wear the fine leather pants. Magic books. Ah, we were told about those. Let's see what they say. The moldy tome here, with the title of Quaff of Rejuvenation, describes the process of making the most concentrated forms of healing herbs, combining it with the essence of toadstool to prevent the extreme potency from becoming toxic. You're able to digest the contents, allowing you to make healing elixirs. The moldy tome here, with the title of Swift Swallow, describes making the stimulants and energetic herbs, using toadstools to prevent toxicity, and spiritual herbs to prevent mindlessness. You're able to digest the contents, allowing you to make hasting elixirs. The moldy tome here, with the title of Enchanted Elixirs, describes the process of taking the mental potency of spiritual herbs and combining it with the soothing effects of grey mold to prevent lightheadedness. You're able to digest the contents, allowing you to make healing elixirs. Oh, that's a lot of potions that we need. Including a few healing energy potions, which are very valuable. Here's all the herbs we need. Oh, hold on. Oh, blessed arrows. You'll need those blessed arrows, I think. So that steel axe doesn't really do anything extra. What we got here? Okay, they said not to take the meat, so we won't take the meat. I still want to know what these weapons are. Pity I don't know. And there's no one who can identify them. This looks like the kitchen, dining hall, whatever. This barrack is intensely unused and is therefore almost unsanitary to be in. The dust in the air that you kick up is palpable. This room would be completely unfit for any sort of rest. Well, we were told that this barracks didn't have much in it. Oop, didn't mean to do that. Same thing there. Damn it, got webbed again. And that's the barracks we'd be in. I am curious if we can look around in the mines below first, though, and I am going to do so. May as well scout. I think we have just enough time to take a look down here, if we can. And, of course, we can't really do so. Alright. Well, I guess the only option left is to go to sleep. Can we say anything to him? Oh, wait, there is things we can talk to him about. He still sits here, awaiting your word to restart conversation. He is still smiling, effortlessly restraining the normal militaristic inclination to give out orders retroactively. It is, admittedly, a great relief. Greetings, Dervish Malachi. Hello! What can I do for you today? We spoke for a while with one of your soldiers. Yes? Which one did you have a chat with? Anthony seems like a sensitive man. He is. Anthony, he loves his sister more like a father loves his daughter. Priscilla has been the topic of lots of campfire discussions. Lots of them. If we leave her alive, I'd deign to meet her. She must be a sweet girl indeed. Maxwell is needlessly guilty. Maxwell served under Duke Eubens. He probably told you this, but Eubens was attacked a month ago by an odd-looking Nephil. Investigators say that it is not a Nephil. They say it was a bizarre, extinct feline creature totally distant from the kiddies, but the kiddies remind Maxwell of his guilt anyway. Lloyd is psychotic. Lloyd's story is one long drawn-out tragedy. He served under General Footracer, the brutal murderer and the devil responsible for this whole mess. He was untaught on morality and was ordered to learn the art of sadism. Pity him. His life has been a disaster and he will likely die before knowing happiness again. Janet is very sensitive. Sensitive. Yes, that is a good way to put it. Sensitive. I was going to keep this from you, but you were extremely respectful when you spoke with her. Janet was fighting brigands a few years ago and lost. They were the brigands, and she was an attractive young lady. She has been sensitive ever since. Oh dear. Do you know about Acacia's sister? He shakes his head and sobs. Acacia, yes. I know about her sister. I cannot imagine having the soul of a loved one die like that. I pity her. I wish I could bring her sister back from the dead, but I can't. And so it goes. He does not say who Acacia's sister is by name. Hunter is an interesting man. An interesting man, eh? Seems more like a chauvinist to me, with an individualist streak and a refusal to help others for the sake of his ideals. But for all of that, and then some, I forgive him. His father owned a wealthy logging operation in Prowlgrad that went under. Hunter's dad beat his wife severely and killed himself on the inside with wine. His ideas, they spring from his emptiness, and he is far kinder than his circumstances would indicate. Isabelle, what a poor girl. Malachi clenches his fists. I agree completely. Isabelle's soul was raped by a demon wearing an imperial crest who goes by the name of General Footracer. I shouldn't tell you this, but Footracer was supposedly executed for war crimes. This is not true. He resides in a sequestered mansion in the richer areas of the capital city of Solaria. The things Isabelle had to do for him. Footracer is a devil. He does not deserve mercy. If I leave this place alive, I will persecute him for sure. Ivy is a sweet and kind woman. Ivy, dearest Ivy. She is perhaps the most selfless person I know. She is constantly speaking with the soldiers here, soothing their pains, easing their tensions, and making us all closer. I should not feel this way, but if we live, I will most certainly leave the military and propose to her. The dervish pulls back with somewhat flushed cheeks and an expression designed to counter his embarrassment. Interesting. Bladesman Ivy. Hello, what may I do for you? Ivy. There, it's all right. She shakes her head and frowns. What are you saying? Can't you see that I'm fine? It's okay, I don't need it. I don't. So don't bother wasting your tears on me, okay? She isn't being open with herself entirely, but you can't blame her. It's a pain you never had to deal with. Strangely, she is looking towards the dervish with moistening eyes as she laments. Okay. Well, I think that's all we have to say for each of them. And all that's left is to go to sleep. Which, you know what, I'll do in the next episode. This was a full, very talky episode, but I actually liked it. We spent some time speaking with and learning about all 12 soldiers that are going to be here. It's almost certain that at least some of them are going to die by the end of this, but I'm definitely going to try to save as many of them as I can. Oh boy, they're trying to make us care about all of them. Well done. Well, next episode we'll go to sleep and find out what our orders are going to be. Till then, I'm Chester44, that is Fox, Sheik, Bonnie, and Draco. This has been a Blades of Avernum Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.